All right. Three, two, one. We'll be going live over on Amazon. Ready to go live. Finally. All right, welcome everybody. We're going live to check out some radios that don't need any kind of licenses that you can just purchase and start using. These are radios that have pretty good range and a good battery life and some features. So let's go around and take a look at what we've got on the table. First off is these Motorola Talkabouts. These are waterproof. They have lights on the bottom. They have all the channels. They can scan and monitor the channels. These are all going to be no license radios, so radios that anybody can buy and use. I think I'm going to try turning the light on here. It's getting a little bit dark. Let's see if I can unplug this. Plug this in here. See if this light helps out a little bit. So that's the first one, is the T600. Then we'll take a look at another set of Motorola's. These are the T11, 114s. This is a set of 3. You can get these in 3s or 4s or multiple packs like that. And we'll take a look at some of the features on these. Next up, we've got these Wish House. This is a set of 4. You can get sets of 5, and these are multicolor, so these can be pretty fun. And you've got different people using them, so everybody has their own color, whoever knows which one's which. Then we've got a set here that are really very, very similar. When we take a look at them, we'll see that they're actually about as similar as you can get. From 3 different brands, 3 different companies. The first one we'll take a look at is a set of 2 that comes from Shell. And we'll take a look at the features on these. But again, these are UHF radios. There's the Baofeng version of that one. And then there's another one in here, did they say the Shell? I hope I got these. Yeah, the Paxton. PXTON is the other version here. And these all talk to each other. It's just a matter of which brand you want to buy. Let's see. Then we have some other options here. I think I passed this Midland. These are nice, much smaller, just as powerful, just as feature packed, but obviously a smaller form factor. Let's see. Then we can get to. Did we get all of them? I guess that is all the radios. We have some of these smaller ones here that I'll pull past some of these other things and we'll take a look at. This is the Aurelis, a really small one with a lot of features. And then for the kids, we've got a little set with that kind of like a unicorn thing going. They got a little horn on them. And we'll take a look at some of the features. If you want to say hello or ask any questions, feel free. But we'll be kind of taking a look here. How do I get out of the? Don't know how to get out of the. There we go. So if anybody's joining us on either side of the cameras, let us know. So that's the radios that we're looking at. We do have some other things to look at that are kind of necessities, and that's batteries. This is a really cool set that recharges with USB-C. Gives you an indicator on the box to let you know how charged up the batteries are. And then when you're done, or when the batteries run out, you just put them back into this case and they recharge in the case. How cool is that? So those are some AA options. But if you need AAAs, you've always got your Amazon batteries. These are easy to get. These are easy to fire and good value. Oh, you know what? I didn't put those in the thing, so I guess I missed those. And then whenever you're out, having some tools is a good idea. This Fantic screwdriver set we'll be taking a look at. It's pretty handy. This is a motorized screwdriver, and these are all the kinds of bits. Not that these radios are going to break, but Sometimes you need a screwdriver to get into the battery compartments, to put on the clips, and other things you might be using with your radio gear. Then last, we got a couple of options for carrying the radios we'll take a look at. One is this nice little nylon jobby that has all kinds of options for carrying it, and this can hold your radio in a quick way. And then we have an even more elaborate option. This is a chest rig, so this can go on your chest. This can hold multiple radios and extra kit, batteries, and that kind of stuff. Has 4 straps to harness it onto you, so that any weight you might be carrying gets distributed and makes it real easy. All right, so we'll go back and take a look at some of these in a little bit closer look. And again, if you want to ask any questions about them, feel free. So I'm going to use some cheat sheets here as we go through. And I think the first thing we'll take a look at is the Motorola T600, which again is a waterproof, dual power, charges with USB, but you can also just put in standard batteries, which I always consider a great option. It's high visibility, so it's real easy to see when this is being used outdoors. There we go. We've got this is a 2-pack, so it comes two of them at a time. They've got the light underneath, which is pretty handy. These have a removable clip. A lot of these have clips that remove by just kind of prying off, like this one. Then you have this clip on the back here where you can put a lanyard, but you can see to get into the battery compartment, you do need a screwdriver. And that's because they've got some pretty decent gaskets on here, so that it's not going to get wet. We'll go ahead and turn it on, and we can see on the screen we've got a real good contrast, real easy to see. We've got a battery indicator. It lets us know what it's doing. I'm going to go ahead and let these things scan as we start looking at them. So this one uses 3 AA batteries, I believe, or the rechargeable USB spot on the side here behind a rubber door. That's micro USB. Has a push to talk and the light. The light has a couple of options, which is handy. And then you've got an emergency call, and you've got a place for your earphones. We can see we've got somebody talking on channel 22 as this is monitoring. We'll let that monitor for a little bit. The next one we'll take a look at would be this other Motorola, the set of 3, and these are the T114s. Much smaller, as you can see, both Motorola's. Both have pretty good range. You can see the antenna's a little smaller, the whole unit is a lot smaller. Now those are waterproof to IPS 6.7, so to wind and dust. And do these tell us what they are? They have open water up to 3 miles, mountains and valleys up to 6 miles, about a half mile in town. Let's see, they do have scan, they have a low battery indicator. Comes with 3 right away, which I find handy. So a lot of times having 2 just isn't enough, and buying 4 isn't always applicable to everybody. I like this little thing at the bottom to be able to hold a lanyard to. I'm a big fan of putting lanyards on things. These do come with clips, so they can use a belt clip. Let's go ahead and put in some AAA batteries. Did I put that one in right? Nope. Do have to put them in the right way, that's for sure. And then we'll put that cover back on the back, and we can peel off this cling. A lot of these come with clings for their display when they're on sale, but we don't need those on there once we're working them. This one has a power button on one side. Once it's on, we get a little chirp. We can up the channels, real simple. So we can send out an alert, and as you can see, that heard the alert over there. So I don't know all the buttons on this one yet, but that's the call. That's how you can let people know that you're wanting to chat with them. It's like a text alarm. All right, next up we'll take a look at the Wish House. Again, this is a set of 4 in that box, and these also have that SOS. You'll pull the clip off the top of these. You can see somebody's talking on channel 22 again over there. You can pull the clip off the back. These use AA batteries, so we'll use a couple of these rechargeables. Is that somebody chatting on channel 15? And once we've got those rechargeables in there, put that back in. Oh, I have them all backwards, that's why. Should look a little closer at the thing. That's why they were popping out, so that's good to know. All right, we'll put the cap back on the back. We'll put the clip back on. And this one already jumped on. We'll turn it back off. Turn it back on. It'll probably chirp. Let us know it's on. It's on channel 3 and decoder 98. We'll let it go to scan mode. And we'll let this one listen to what's going on out there. Again, we have the lamp. We have a weather service. And we have the alert. There's the menu. Pretty nice, little rugged radio. Push to talk on this side. No other buttons. We have a flap at the bottom here to, looks like for charging or to set up a earbud. We'll let that one scan as well. So now we have a couple of radios that are listening as we're chatting here. Do I have that one queued up? And again, that one's neat because it comes with a set of 4 in the box, and they come in different colors right away. I think it's a red, a white, a blue, and a yellow. And oh no, there's an orange. So it's a orange, a yellow, a blue, and a white. And then you can get sets with 5 or more colors even. Then we can move that over a little bit. Let's go to the arc shell next. So these come 2 in a box, and these are pretty nice radios. They're a good medium size. They're not too small. They're a little small, I suppose, if you're going to be wearing gloves, but they're not so large that, or they're not so small that they won't, that they'll disappear into a pocket or something like that. These have a charger. They come with a charger. So you'll notice on the back of a lot of these, they have these charging ports, and that's so that they can charge. There you go. That's so that they can charge when they're sitting in a cradle. And that's pretty handy if you're going to have a base unit or a base station to put them back into. But they do have battery packs inside as well. So this is a battery pack, and you can charge that up by itself, or just put it in the cradle. When you turn it on, this one's not charged, it'll say what channel it's on. You can rock through the channels over here with the orange buttons. You've got your connections to your charger and then your earphones on this side, and you can put a clip on the back. If we take a look at this Paxton, it's pretty much the same radio. Very, very similar. The rubber here is a little different. The way that the clip attaches is a little different. These will use screws. This one clips onto the battery. They both use charger things on the back. Buttons, push to talk. The antennas are just a little bit different. And then if we bring that Baofeng into the mix, That's this one of their walkie-talkies. There we go. There we go. One of their walkie-talkies. We can see again that they're very, very similar. The Baofeng is more like the Paxton than the Arc Shell with a little bit longer antenna. Both the Baofeng and the Paxton, you screw on the clip. They all pretty much would use the same cradle. You can see the battery packs would be similar for the Baofeng and the Paxton. Let's see if any of these are charged up enough to turn on.
Power on. 7.
So that's how it sounds when you've got them charged up.
8. 9. 11. 8.
We can turn on the LED lights that are at the top as a signal. And then when you turn it off, turn it back on again,
Power on.
it lets you know that it's on. Those are pretty nice, and they've got pretty good reception and pretty good range. Did we already look at this one? So we'll take another look at this little blue guy, which I'm a big fan of because of how little it is, especially if I just want to monitor the no license needed camping radio channels. I like this one because of how small it is and how rugged it is. Let's see, so this one has a clip. We can pull that off, which will give us access to the battery compartment. You can see this one takes 4 AAA batteries. Put the clip back on, and you do have sort of a place to put a lanyard there. Now we'll turn this one on by a button on the front. And we got the menu, the battery indicator, the signal indicator. We also have a light up front. These are real handy if you're looking at a frequency guide or a map or something. You can see almost all of these have a non-flexible antenna. Just these Baofangs have the flexible antennas. We'll put this on scan mode. Oh, looks like those batteries are crapping out on me. So we could put some new batteries in here and let this one scan. But I let this one scan for me quite a bit. I really like this little radio. We've got another small one here that's, again, very little and has an ability to monitor the channels. So FMRS or FRS, I guess, these are, there's 22 channels. They can usually work on all of them, and then they sometimes have sub-channels on them. Let's see, what else do we have to take a look at? We'll take another quick look at this unicorn one. You buy these in a set. These are great for kids. We have a screw on the back here that we have to undo to be able to get to the batteries. And this is the case on a lot of electronics, really. So again, it's nice to have, I probably should use it. It's nice to have the Fantic. You can just pull that off, find a Phillips bit, like we did right there. Everything can stay in there if you're on the go. You've got a light that lights up, and you just insert, push the direction you want to go. Use this as a pry tool right away to get that cover off. This one is being held in by the rubber, kind of a rubber shell that's on this. And when we open that up, we can see that this one wants 3 AAA batteries. We'll pull those out of one of these others. We'll pull those out of this Motorola. Nobody's asking any questions, but typical questions are what kind of range do these have? And that'll sort of depend on the terrain. If they've got a lot of trees, if there's a lot of minerals and rocks, in the rocks and stuff, if there's buildings, what kind of terrain, if you're going up and down. But typically these can get miles of coverage. Once you get into town where you've got buildings and stuff, it'll go down to maybe a half a mile. But these can be up to like 20 miles if you get out where you're up on a hill and you're talking up and down a hill or up and down elevation. Out on the ocean where there's no elevation, 3 to 5 miles, I think, is realistic expectations for these. So with this one, we put the battery thing back on the back, we stretch the rubber protector on, and now we'll just let the Fantic screw that battery cover back on. much faster and quicker than anything else. These have a switch up at the top, and that turns its eyes on. Pretty fun. It's not much to it. You have it set to whichever channel. And when we cue it up, we can see that it's being listened to on channel 8. This is coming through on channel 8 on both of these that are scanning. Once this one gets over to channel 8, it will see that this one is also picking up channel 8. There we go. Now they're both on channel 8. And it has these cool eyes. That's a fun one. Those batteries will last a good long time when you're out playing with them too. Going back and taking a look at these batteries, as you can see, they've got a little probe at the bottom there of the case and up at the top here, and whenever you take a battery out and you use it for a while, it's going to drain. When you put it back in here and close the lid, it'll go ahead and start to charge up again, and it's as simple as just plugging in USB-C to keep them all charged up. This is magnetic, so it's actually a pretty good case for carrying them around as well. I also like that it's yellow, so you can see at a glance how many batteries are there, how many might be out being used. I'll take a quick look at this Fantic screwdriver. I'll take the bit off of the end here. They're magnetic. Then I can pull out this center divider thing, organizer, and these are magnetic, so they're just sticking in there with magnets. So it's real easy to move these out and get to these bits. As you can see, they've got all different shapes and sizes, so there's kind of a guide here at the bottom of each one as to what the shape of the bit is and the size. There's some duplicates of common ones, things that you use for telephones and watches, and then there's a whole bunch of locking ones and specialty ones that you'd use in different electronics just occasionally. There's also some real nice tweezers and a couple of pry tools for helping to open things. There's even a magnetizer there if you have to deal with that. And then the power part itself can be recharged with USB-C. And you just push the button whichever way you want to go, and you got LEDs at the front. That'll insert at the top there, and when you push down, it all locks in with a magnet, and when you need it again, you just pop it and it all comes apart. This outside part is extruded aluminum, so it's all metal on the outside, and the inside, actually, is the inside metal too? I think it might be. There's obviously some steel inserts and stuff to hold it with magnets, but no, this might be polymer. So this is a polymer, but the outside is aluminum, and the tool itself is aluminum. Fantic makes a bunch of these. I really like this square one though. That was the first one I got, and it doesn't roll and it stays put. I really like it just to be on my work table or in my travel kit. All right, so what else do we got to look at? This chest rig is pretty handy. So whether you're out and about doing maybe some kind of search and rescue or some sort of hiking or any kind of effort you might be doing, you have a big pocket here in the front for maybe a small tablet or a large phone. You've got looks like we're getting some alerts on channel 16. You've got a high-vis panel on the front as well as a Velcro panel. You've got a big open spot here with some dividers, kind of an admin pouch. Then you have on both sides access for radios. We'll use this Paxton on one side and the Motorola on the other to show there's two different heights here. Now I don't have a ham radio. We just are looking at FRS no license radios here, but you can see that walkie-talkie fits perfect on the short side. It does fall into the bigger side a little bit because this is really designed for a ham radio, but you can definitely keep that radio in there, and this way you could potentially have two radios monitoring, or one on a specific channel and one monitoring, however you want to set it up. Still have room for your batteries or cables or whatever you might need. And because it's a harness, it's not just a pouch with a shoulder strap, it's really not going to cause any fatigue. You'll have all the weight distributed in a harness. So these are pretty good if you're climbing, walking over boulders, horseback riding, on a motorcycle or something like that. It really lets you keep your radios hands-free. But we do have another option here if you don't need something that big. This little inexpensive nylon jobby Has kind of a shock cord here at the top. Let's just use one of these little walkie-talkies for this one. And you can see even this little tiny form factor fits in here nice. It's got a shock cord here, so this is kind of elastic. So if you do use one of the larger ones, like the largest one we got on the table right now is this Motorola, and it'll fit in here no problem. It'll still slide in, even with its clip on the back. And then because it can stretch, it can come up and accommodate even this large radio. Now you could carry stuff on the side or carry it like a sling, but you can put it on a belt. As you can see, lots of different carry options with this one. I think this one is really the sweet spot for this one. Would probably be something like this Wish House, kind of your normal size, your mid-size walkie-talkie, your two-way. Fits in here perfect. Lets you still see the screen. Clips on, so you're not going to lose it if you're horseback riding or riding a motorcycle or something. And if you're going to be using like a Baofeng, then you could easily put this one in here too. It's not going to adjust the knobs or anything. You got plenty of room for that antenna. All right, so this is a bunch of different, no license required. You don't need to, all you have to do is buy these and use them. If you have a ham radio license, you can still use these. These will get picked up with the ham radios, but these are in a separate FRS bands that won't bleed out into any of the licensed radios. You'll still get real good reception and real good distance, and you can monitor. So these are real fun to just take a small one of these along when you're going to any kind of a sporting event or racetrack or airport, even big resort towns and stuff where you might have different people using these radios around businesses and factories and building sites and stuff. So you can monitor a lot of interesting stuff with these. All right, hope this helps. We didn't get a lot of questions, but if there are, you can always feel free to track us down and ask those questions. A lot of these are good deals this time of year, so check them out. We'll kind of go through them again. We've got that Motorola T600, waterproof. Just noticed that the light was on. It's got some easy to use flashlights. You can monitor easily. You can recharge it. This is a dual power, so you can use regular batteries or there's a rechargeable set in here. And this one's neat because it comes with a wall charger that kind of splits off and it charges both of those yellow T600s at the same time or individually. But this way you can use one power outlet and charge both your radios. That's pretty handy. These Wish House set of 4 come with charging cradles. Oh wait, do they? No, I'm thinking of the others. So these are just triple or double A batteries, right? Yeah, these are the double A batteries. We've got these rechargeables in there. They can monitor. They also have a light up top for signaling, and they have an automatic call. Because they're all in different colors, they're real cool if you've got a bunch of different people that are going to want their own radios. Oh, that was that one. Then we got these Motorola's, the T114s, smaller, great durability. They're super rugged. They got great distance, and again, they're super small. Everybody's going to like these. That was the Wish House there, the multicolor ones. Then we've got these Arc Shell, the Baofeng, and the Paxson, which are all very similar. Just minor differences on these. Another set options for some really nice two-way radios that are a little bit more down to business. They don't have the weather. They don't have the scanning ability. When they come on, which one had the power? The Paxson. When they come on, they tell you what channel they're on. When you change the channel, they tell you what channel they're on, and no screens to play with. So these are a lot more. These are used a lot more in business realms. Did we talk about the little Midlands? I think we missed those. The Midlands are a nice one because of their small form factor. When we open these up on the back, we'll see that these also use AAA batteries, 3 AAA batteries in the back. And because they don't need to be recharged or anything, they're a little less expensive. We've got a push to talk on the side. They do not connect to mouthpieces or anything like that. They can monitor and they have great range. So this little Midlands are a real popular option. Let's see, then we came down to the smaller ones here. The pink ones, the little unicorn jobbies. They're great for kids. They got the little eyes that blink when you chat. And real simple, not a lot of bells and whistles on those. Great for keeping in touch because all of these will talk to each other. I don't know if I made that clear, but these are all using the same channel. So when I was talking through this pink one and it was picking up on both of those others because they're monitoring, that's the nice thing about these. You buy any of these, no license required, and they're all going to talk to each other. So if you pick up that Motorola T600 for the campsite, and then you pick up the Motorola T114s for everybody to carry around because they're smaller, well, then you're going to still be able to talk to each other. There's no problems there. In fact, you could pick up any of these brands and they're all going to talk to each other. That's why I like these little guys, the Earless, how you say that? I always use this one. I almost always have this one around so that my other scanners and my other ham radios don't have to monitor these FRS channels. I let the little FRS radio monitor itself. And then for carrying, we've got those pouches, and we've got the chest rig that we looked at. And then for batteries, we've got those rechargeables. And if you're ever using radios, you're more than likely going to need some tools. So I highly recommend the little Fantic set. This is a great gift idea too. It's Mother's Day coming up. Moms like tools. All right, well, so thanks everybody for joining us. If you have any questions, let us know. And hopefully you're having some fun out there camping, hiking, and enjoying the outdoors. Keeping in touch, even if there's no cell phone distance. Have a great summer. All right, so that's the StreamYard, or that's the Amazon ending over there. I don't think anybody's chatting over here, so I guess we'll end this one too. Thanks for joining us. Some of these links will be on Amazon, or check the description down below. Wait, has there been any comments? Live chat. No, I don't think so.